In 1843, a woman published the first computer program. The computer didn't exist yet. It had been designed, drawn up in fanatical detail by a British inventor named Charles Babbage, but no one had ever built it. In fact, no one ever did. Real computers wouldn't exist for another 100 years. She wrote programs for it anyway. Her name was Ada Lovelace. And the notes she published that year are the reason every computer in the world today does what it does. Ada was the daughter of Lord Byron, the poet, the celebrity, the scandal. Her mother left him when Ada was a month old and raised her on a strict diet of mathematics, hoping it would inoculate her against whatever it was that had ruined Byron. It didn't work. Ada ended up obsessed with math, but she also kept her father's imagination. She called her own approach poetical science. At 17, at a dinner party in London, she met Charles Babbage. Babbage was an inventor with an idea so far ahead of its time that almost nobody understood it. He called it the Analytical Engine. It was meant to be a mechanical computer, gears and rods and punched cards, the size of a small steam locomotive, programmable, general purpose. Not a calculator, something that could be told by the cards you fed it to perform any sequence of operations you wanted. He never built it. The British government had already lost patience funding his earlier machines. The Analytical Engine existed entirely on paper. In 1843, Ada was asked to translate a French paper an Italian engineer had written about the engine. She did. And then she added her own footnotes. The footnotes were longer than the paper itself. The last one, Note G, contained a step-by-step procedure for getting the engine to compute a sequence called the Bernoulli numbers. It had loops, it had variables, it had conditional logic. It was, in every meaningful sense of the word, a computer program, written for a computer that didn't exist in a language nobody had invented yet. Here's the part that matters. Babbage saw a calculator. A very fancy one, but a calculator. Ada saw something else. In her own words, quote, "The analytical engine might act upon other things besides number," end quote. It could compose music, she wrote. It could manipulate symbols of any kind, according to rules. Written in 1843, about a machine that didn't exist, that is the entire conceptual foundation of every general-purpose computer ever built. Babbage saw arithmetic. Ada saw software. And then her notes vanished. Ada died at 36. The analytical engine was never built. Her papers sat in archives, mostly forgotten, for nearly a century. Until 1950, when the mathematician Alan Turing published a paper asking whether machines could truly think. He cited Lovelace by name. He even called one of his central ideas Lady Lovelace's objection, her century-old question about whether machines could ever truly originate something new. In 1980, the U.S. Department of Defense named a new programming language after her. They called it Ada, because she got there first. She wrote a program for a machine that didn't exist. Think about that for a second. If you want to go deeper, Walter Isaacson's book, The Innovators, has a great chapter on Ada, link in the description. If you like this, subscribe. We do a lot of stories like this, things that were real or almost real that most people have forgotten about. I'll see you in the next one.